Yeah. Just one more. Yeah. The piano phrase that comes back every 4 bars. The hi-hat that lands a little late on purpose. The kick drum sitting deep beneath the surface. The snare that cracks and doesn't make a fuss. The bass that walks the same route every chorus. The rose that holds its chord and lets it bloom. The sample underneath someone's old record. A voice inside the room. The record sleeve on the floor beside the turntable. The needle on the groove, the small red light. The headphones on the hook waiting for the morning. The extension cord along the baseboard, right? The speaker grill with the small dent at the corner. The volume knob between 2 and 3. The wire taped along the wall with painter's tape. The whole small system running free. Yeah, one more, okay, loop. Yeah. The song going around again without you asking. The body already knowing when to nod. The chorus coming back like someone knocking. Who you were always gonna let in a pride. The piano phrase again, the same 4 notes, but landing different every time it lands. The way a loop is never quite the same loop, and the same groove keeps asking for your hands. One more, yeah, loop. Okay, one more loop. Yeah, one more. Just one more. The cup on the table that you keep refilling. The same song on the 4th consecutive play. The afternoon that keeps extending gently into a kind of evening without a name for day. The light outside going through its slow progression from white to amber to the softest gray. The street doing its unhurried inventory while you stay right here and let it stay. The blanket pulled up to your collarbone now. The pillow behind your lower back just right. The phone face down on the armrest, unnecessary. The room and you and the music and the light. The window doing what the window always does, holding whatever's outside in its frame. The same tree, the same sky, slightly different, but you'd call it the same. And you'd be right to claim, yeah, loop, one more, okay, yeah. The satisfying click of the repeat button, not literally just the intention to stay inside this pocket, one more orbit, not for a reason, just for the retention of the feeling that the groove is giving you. Something warm and low and round and short. The piano phrase again, the same 4 notes, and one more time, and once more after pure. Yeah, one more loop. Okay, one more loop. Yeah, one more. Just one more. The habit of returning to a good thing. The way you go back to the same cafe seat. The same order, the same window, the same hour. Because some coordinates are hard to beat. The comfort of the known in a small package. The 4 bars that will always be those 4 bars. The groove that has your particular measurements. The beat that knows the distance between your scars. The feeling that a loop is not a prison, but a home with an open door you choose. The warmth of being somewhere you can leave, but don't, because you haven't got a reason to. The afternoon ticking quietly forward. The music going round and round and right. And the one more loop becoming one more after. And the room just sitting with you in the light. Yeah, one more. Okay, yeah, one more. One more loop. One more. Just one more. One more loop. One more. Just one more. Just one more. Don't rush the night. Yeah, let it stay. The lamp is on low, and you're okay. You switched the overhead light off at 9 and left the small lamp on the end table glowing. Amber like a jar of something sweet, not bright enough to know where you were going. The curtains were not fully closed, one gap, and through it came the street light, orange blue. Just enough to see the edge of everything. the cup, the chair, the window, the you. Your headphones on, the volume a bit lower than it was this afternoon, just right. The bass still moving through the seat cushion like something living underneath the night. You had a book but weren't really reading, just holding it, the spine against your palm. The pages fanned a little when you breathed out and settled back to ordinary calm. Okay, don't rush the night, yeah. A moth was at the window tapping softly against the glass in almost random time. You watched it from the couch without a movement, like you were part of something, almost rhyme. The clock on the microwave said something. You didn't check the number, didn't care. The music had a rose note hanging open, like a sentence left in the middle of the air. Let it stay. Don't rush it, yeah, okay. Don't rush the night. Yeah, let it stay. The lamp is on low, and you're okay. You poured a glass of water in the kitchen, stood there for a second in the dark and still. The fridge hummed steady like it had an opinion about the temperature or how you feel. You carried it back careful with both hands and set it on the coaster by the remote. The ice inside it shifted once and settled, and the sound of it stayed somewhere in your throat. The music moved into a slower passage where the drums pulled back and left more space. And in that space you heard the building settle and the creak of something finding its own place. A door somewhere below you opened, closed, footsteps going left and then just gone. And then the drums came back in soft and easy, and you kept sitting there with headphones on. The night outside was doing what nights do. The cars went by in longer intervals. The traffic light was turning for no one, just red and green and yellow ritual. You thought about tomorrow without worry. The thought just passed on through and didn't land. And the lamp kept throwing amber on the ceiling, and the glass of water sweated in your hand. Yeah, don't rush the night. Let it stay. Don't rush the night. Yeah, let it stay. The lamp is on low, and you're okay. The lamp is on low, and you're okay. The lamp is on low, and you're okay. Sidewalk swing, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got nowhere to be, just the rhythm pulling you through. You zipped your jacket up to the second button, the one that's loose and wobbles when you walk. You picked up headphones from the hook beside the door, the cord already tangled like it wants to talk. The pavement's still a little wet from last night, each square of concrete holding its own sky. You step on every crack without a reason and watch the puddles ripple as you pass by. The bakery on the corner left its door open, and warm bread smell comes out and grabs your collar. A yellow cat is sitting in the window between a stack of cookbooks and the dollar. Your headphones playing something with a bass line that walks beside you like a second friend. You match your footsteps to the kick drum pattern and feel like maybe morning has no end, no end. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. The crosswalk signal blinks this little countdown. You stop and rock your weight from heel to toe. The man beside you has a paper bag with something. You catch the smell of oranges, you know. The light goes green and everyone moves forward, but you take just the second half a beat. to watch the shadows shift across the building before you let your sneakers meet the street. Okay, sidewalk swing, yeah. Sidewalk swing, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got nowhere to be. Just the rhythm pulling you through. You found the bench beside the little fountain, the one with pigeons lined up on the back. You sat down slow and stretched your arms out wide and felt your jacket crinkle soft and slack. A kid went by on a red scooter laughing. His helmet had a sticker of a bear. You smiled at that without deciding to, and tucked your chin down toward your collar there. The fountain made his bubbling looping music underneath the beat inside your ears. Two rhythms running parallel and easy, like two old friends who haven't talked in years. A leaf came down and landed on your knee. You looked at it and didn't brush it off. The veins in it were thin as thread and perfect, and the wind was barely even close to soft. The clouds were moving in a slow direction toward the hill behind the library roof. You watched them bunch and separate and bundle, and felt the bench wood warm without a proof. Your bottle of water still had half remaining. You took a sip and put the cap back on, and thought about nothing shaped like something like a word you almost had, and then it's gone. Yeah, yeah. 1, 2. Sidewalk swing. Sidewalk swing. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got nowhere to be. Just the rhythm pulling you through. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just the rhythm pulling you through. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Just the rhythm pulling you through. Okay. 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 You ordered the same thing you always order. The woman behind the counter already knew. She had the cup moving before you finished talking, and slid it across the counter warm and true. You said thank you, she said nothing. Both of you fine with the transaction that had become a kind of ritual. You took it to the table by the window, second from the left, the one where the sun comes in at an angle habitual. The street outside was doing its morning inventory. A man with a cart, a woman with a dog on a long lead. The bakery across was pulling its outside table out one leg at a time, a small four-legged creed. You wrapped both hands around your cup and watched it, the steam rising in a single column then dispersing, and your headphones were playing something with a bass line that matched the pace of the street, unhurried, unrehearsing. Okay, coffee on the corner, yeah. The sugar dispenser had a drip dried on its side, brown and glossy, someone else's yesterday. You didn't touch it, just noticed it was there, the way you notice a lot of things and let them stay. The chair across from you had nobody in it. A jacket hung over the back from the hook below. Somebody left in a hurry or on purpose. Hard to tell from where you were sitting, you don't know. Yeah, corner, okay, coffee. A man came in and stood at the counter too long, reading the menu like it was the first time. You could see his reflection in the glass beside you, overlaid with the street in a double rhyme. He ordered something complicated, the woman wrote it, nodded twice and turned and disappeared. And he stood there with his hands in his coat pockets, looking at the door like something might appear. The music shifted in your ears to something slower, a piano running just two chords back and forth. Then you let your eyes go soft at the window, watching the street drift without a particular north. The dog came back, the same one on a shorter lead now. The woman talking on a phone, dog patient waiting. You watch the dog sit down beside a fire hydrant, still and calm, the way only dogs are capable of being. Yeah, coffee. Corner, okay, Your cup was half empty, cooling toward the center. The ring it left on the paper napkin, dark. You folded the napkin over to hide the circle, then unfolded it because it didn't matter in the dark. The man with the complicated order got his drink. Stood at the counter one moment longer, then walked out, door swinging once behind him, and the cafe got its size back wider, stronger. Yeah, coffee on the corner. Okay. You watched two people outside share an umbrella, even though it wasn't raining, just cloudy and low. They were talking close together under it anyway, walking the same pace, easy and slow. You thought about the distance between people, how sometimes it's an umbrella, how sometimes a street, and how the distance isn't always what it looks like, how some people are closer than they ever speak. The brass accent in the music hit just then, a short two-note thing, almost a joke, and you almost smiled into your coffee cup, the way you do with something small and good, half woke. The barista was wiping down the steam wand, the hiss of it cutting through for just a second, then done, and the room went back to its own level, like the sound of something borrowed and then reckoned. Okay, coffee, yeah, corner. Your cup was empty now, just the ring in the foam, a thin line at the bottom, dark and settled. You didn't get up yet, just held the empty cup, like holding something counts before it's level. The street outside changed its cast of characters, the morning crowd giving way to the mid-morning kind. People with less urgency, more layers, the window holding all of them like a frame of mind. Yeah, coffee on the corner. Okay. You left the cup on the table and buttoned up your jacket. The woman behind the counter was already on to someone new. The door swung out into the morning and held there a second, and the corner smelled like bread and coffee. Same as always, same as you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. The headphones, the cord, the left ear cup slightly warmer, the right ear where the sound sits just a degree more, the padding against the jawbone, the familiar pressure, the way the world goes small when you close the door. The street light coming on outside the window, not sudden, gradual like a thought arriving. The sky doing its inventory of colors, amber rose, the gray that keeps surviving. The building across going window by window, lit each square a different version of inside. The one with the blue light, someone at a screen. The one with the yellow dinner being tried. The one with no light yet still in transition. The one with the curtain moving, someone there. The rooftop water tower going dark at the edges. The antenna against the last of the sky's flare. Dusk. Yeah, headphones, okay. The dust on the windowsill going invisible now. The plant on the ledge becoming a silhouette. The last pigeon leaving the telephone wire, the wire holding the shape of where it's set. The traffic below shifting its own frequency. More taxis, fewer deliveries, the change. The smell of dinner from below, the particular hour. The headphones holding all of it at close range. Yeah, headphones at dusk. Okay. Just the headphones, just the dusk, just this. The vinyl crackle underneath the music, the surface noise that makes it feel like time. The song on its third play without deciding, the fourth beginning before the thought to rewind. The bass doing something deep and patient, moving through the floor, through the chair, through you. The Rhodes chord hanging open at the turnaround, the way it waits before it knows what to do. The drum brush soft as someone thinking out loud, the kick like a hand laid flat on a table. The hi-hat counting something in the background, a steady small denominator stable. The piano motif that closes every section, 4 notes that say we're almost there. Hold on, the almost there that keeps not quite arriving. The dusk inside the music, dusk inside the song. Dusk, yeah, okay, headphones, The warmth of the ear cups after an hour wearing the cord weight you forget is there until you move. The volume at the number that requires nothing, not loud, not soft. The number that's the groove, the sound of your own breathing in the music. The inside and the outside, same frequency. The room behind you settling into evening, and the headphones keeping you right here, right now, right free. Yeah, just this. Headphones at dusk, okay. Just the headphones, just the dusk, just this. The feeling of the last hour of available light, the body knowing it without the eyes confirming. The slight shift in the room's temperature, just slight. The chair, the chord, the music quietly turning towards something that has always been at the end of it. A closing motif, 4 notes, the same 4 notes that have been in every song you've heard this evening. Hiding in the changes, hiding in the flows. The patience that the dusk has in the body, the permission it gives to not move just yet. The headphones as a reason and a ritual, the chord, the ear cup, the groove, the silhouette. The feeling of a day that asked for nothing and got what it needed from the window and the beat. The particular rightness of a good evening. The headphones at the dusk, the room, the heat, just, yeah, headphones, okay, dusk, The small things accumulating into something, the chord, the cup, the window, the last light. The music finding its way to a closing figure, 4 notes that say this was exactly right. The feeling that a day has been a good one, not because of anything that happened or was said, but because of the window and the groove and the hour and the headphones warm against your ear and head. Yeah, yeah, just this. Headphones at dusk, okay. Just the headphones, just the dusk, just this. Headphones at dusk, just this. Headphones at dusk, just this. The hallway runner rug with the worn center straight. The bathroom towel cold through the socket, 3 steps in. The kitchen floor warm near the stove, always warmer. The hardwood, the creaks on the 3rd board. The shin, the mat at the door with the rubber back and curl. The single step down from the kitchen to the back. The threshold between the bedroom and the hall. The particular give of the floorboard, the crack. The velvet of the couch armrest under your palm. The ceramic of the mug smooth and round at the rim. The soft paper of the paperback's last pages. The cotton of the hoodie going loose at the hem. The rubber grip of the headphone band adjusted. The cord between your fingers light and thin. The wooden chair back, the ridge in the cushion. The window latch, cold metal, the spin. Soft, yeah, okay. Velvet steps. The throw pillow with the embroidered corner. The floor lamp switch, that particular click. The door handle in the hallway, always slightly loose. The kettle handle, plastic, the grip. The cold blast of the window in the morning. The warmth of the radiator through your sleeve. The dust on the bookshelf edge, fine as powder. The cotton of the curtain you reach to relieve. Yeah, yeah, soft footing, okay. Velvet steps, yeah, soft all the way through. The sound the slippers make on the kitchen floor. The soft shuffle, the small drag and sweep. The sound of the fridge seal opening, the suction. The sound of the house at 4 in the afternoon asleep. The radiator doing its long tick inside. The clock on the wall with the 1 second hand. The drip from the bathroom tap you meant to fix. The window frame flexing in the wind unplanned. The jazz guitar in the headphones doing something small and round and going where you don't expect. A 2-bar phrase that ends on an open question. A note that leans forward and never connects. The walking bass below it certain steady, going somewhere it has always been going. The hi-hat brushing soft like someone sweeping a floor you never see but always knowing. Velvet, yeah, soft, okay, steps, The sound your chair makes when you turn slightly. A small complaint, a creak, a minor note. The sound of turning a page without looking. The sound of swallowing coffee low in the throat. The sound of your own breath in the ear cup. The inside sound warm and close in yours. The sound of a truck passing below the window, going through the room like it's going through doors. Yeah, yeah, soft footing, okay. Velvet steps, yeah, soft all the feeling of arriving at the end of the afternoon, the particular weight of a day that asks nothing, the ease of the body that is moved at its own pace, all the small locomotions adding to something. The satisfaction of the rug underfoot, the known creak in the third board like a greeting, the soft landing at the couch at the end of it, the slippers, the cushion, the quiet repeating, the warmth inside the chest that has no address, the ease that comes from moving without hurry, the body knowing every texture by now, the floor, the door, the chord, the blurry memory of where things are in the dark, the trust of feet having the room at night, the velvet of a life that fits its own shape, the soft and certain and the alright. Soft, yeah, velvet, okay, steps, velvet steps, yeah, soft all the way through. Yeah, that's it. The rug with the warm patch near the left armchair, the bookshelf with the leaner stack of paperbacks, the lamp with the shade tilted slightly left of center, the remote control with the missing battery flat, the throw blanket piled at the end of the couch, the coaster with the ring on top of the ring, the coffee table scratch that runs diagonal on the small basket in the corner holding everything, the television black and blank and waiting, the plant pot with the dry soil and the one-hit leaf, the frame print with the slightly crooked wire, dust on top of the speaker thin as grief, the record sleeve propped up against the wall, the half-read paperback face down still, the notebook open to a page of nothing, the pen beside it cap off the small thread, yeah, nah, just a nod, okay. The candle burned to a third of what it was, the wax pool solid now, a small white lake, the ladder on the sill, the used matching tray, the particular quietness an evening can make, the window with the outside doing outside things, the tree moving in a wind you cannot feel, the neighbors light going on across the way, the Venetian blinds, every other one of it, just get a nod, okay, no talk, just nod, yeah, just nod. The smell of the candle cooling, waxy and faint, the soap smell drifting from the bathroom still open, the old book smell from the shelf when you pass close, the faint smell of coffee, something left, something spoken, the outside smell that comes in at the window gap, something green and something asphalt, something cold, the smell of the fabric on the throat blanket, the particular smell of a room that's growing old, the smell of your own jacket on a hook by the door, the dry smell of the rug under your feet, the almost smell of rain that hasn't come yet, the warm smell of the speaker while it beats, the smell of the record when you lift the sleeve, something like an old room or something like time, the smell of nothing in the middle of the room, which is the smell of a Tuesday and it's fine, not, yeah, just that, okay, the smell of the apple you're not eating yet, sitting in the bowl with this particular air, the smell of the last match from the box of matches, going through the room like something rare, the headphones, the cord, the plastic of the ear cup, the vinyl warmth that comes off a 12-inch, the smell of your own coffee in the kitchen, you're here on the couch not moving an inch, yeah, no talk, just not, no talk, no talk, just not, just not, yeah, just not. The weight of a good song doing nothing to you except making the room feel right. The particular satisfaction of not needing anything, couch, the blanket for Tuesday night. The feeling of a music moving through the floor, the bass doing something to your feet without asking. Head that starts to nod before you know it's not a minute, body giving its own small answering. The low-grade warmth in the chest that has no name, the thought that comes and goes without a word. The moment when you realize you've been smiling since somewhere in the second verse you heard. size of a room, a lamp, a beat. The particular rightness of an ordinary evening. The nod in your own seat. Yeah, just nod. Okay, no talk, just nod. No talk, don't talk, just nod. Just a nod. Yeah, just that, just a nod. Yeah, just that. The kettle, the cutting board, the knife laid flat, the dish towel folded twice over the oven handle, the single chopstick in the ceramic cup, the birthday card still taped above the candle, the magnet from a city you no longer visit, the calendar 2 months behind, the pencil cup, the mug with the chip on the rim you kept anyway. The rubber band around the rolled up takeout map, the wooden spoon, the colander in the drying rack, the soy sauce bottle with the sticky cap, the half-used roll of bacon parchment, the 3 pens that work, the 2 that don't, the gap, the window above the sink with the smudge at the corner, the same sky in it every evening, framed and still. The light going gold across the countertop, the way it does when the sun is clearing the hill, yeah. Going gold, okay, The salt shaker, the pepper, the small jar of something, the bread bag twisted shut with its own neck, the single apple in the fruit bowl, patient, the refrigerator humming its long check, the shelf above the stove with the spices standing, cumin, coriander, bay leaf, thyme, the cork from a bottle you opened last occasion, the phone face down beside the bread, the time, okay, everything going gold, yeah. And the light just keeps doing what light does. Going gold, going gold, going gold. The sound of the upstairs neighbor moving the chair, the bass from a car 2 blocks over then gone, the pigeon on the ledge with its small percussion, the refrigerator clicking off and then back on, the traffic in the lower key then morning, the bicycle bell at the corner once precise, the kid downstairs calling something upstairs and the answer coming back muffled twice, the creak of your own chair when you shift your weight, the headphones cable brushing against your wrist, the vinyl playing something in the next room, the song you know but couldn't name if pressed, the hiss of the radiator warming up for evening, the spoon against the mug, 1 tap, no reason, the window's draft that comes and goes at intervals and carries the smell of someone's dinner season. Gold, yeah, okay. Going, going, gold. And the light just keeps doing what light does. Going, gold, going, gold, going, gold. The feeling of the chair beneath the backs of your thighs, the weight of both your hands resting in your lap, the warmth of the cup you're not drinking from anymore, the habit of holding it, the warmth, the wrap, the almost thought you had and then released, the face that came to mind for no clear reason, the small pull in the chest that isn't sadness, just something adjacent to it, just to season the patience you didn't know you had until just now, the quiet that has settled like a layer of dust, the particular calm of a weekday evening, the kind of alone that feels like something you trust, the gold light moving off the counter now, taking the warmth with it, slow, complete, and the room going back to its own color, and the music still going, still underneath, yeah, going gold, okay, everything, and the light just keeps doing what light does, going gold, going gold, going gold, the last of it, just the edge of the counter, going gold. The last of it, just the edge of the counter, going gold. Yeah. Yeah. You were talking to yourself again, not loud. Just that low voice you use when no one's home. The one that comments on the things you're doing, like pouring water, like picking up the phone. You said the name of what you were eating slow, like tasting the word the same way as the thing. And the kitchen answered back with nothing special, just the tick of the clock and a faucet dripping. Your reflection in the microwave door was small and warped a little, convex, dark and round. You made a face at it, a half-committed one, and it made the same face back without a sound. The vinyl was crackling somewhere in the next room. You put it on an hour ago and walked away, and it was playing to the chair in the bookshelf, saying something neither of them needed to say. You opened the drawer with all the random things, the rubber bands, the batteries, the twist ties, the takeout menu from a place that closed last winter, a pen with a bite mark halfway up its spine. You took the pen out, clicked it twice for nothing, put it in your pocket like you had a plan, and stood there in the kitchen for a second, a man with a pen and no specific demand. Low, yeah, interlude. Okay, hey. The shadow from the plant on the windowsill stretched across the counter in a long, thin arm, like it was reaching for the bread box, slowly, unhurried, doing the plant its own kind of harm. You watched it not move, because plants don't move fast, but you knew it was different from an hour before. This was how the afternoon measured itself in plant shadows shifting across the floor. Low voice, yeah. Okay. You found a note you wrote to yourself in March, folded twice and sitting under the fruit bowl. 3 words in your own handwriting, unclear. Something about a Tuesday, something ho. You couldn't read the middle word, too smudged. You held it to the light and still got nothing. So you put it back and set the bowl back on it and let March stay where March was, undiscussed, still running. The music from the vinyl reached its run-out groove, that soft loop, a surface noise and silence. And you heard it from the kitchen, recognized it, that particular nothing, that small compliance. You went and picked the needle up yourself and set the record back to track 1 gently and let it start again. Same songs in order, like the afternoon needed them presently. Low voice. Yeah, okay, hey. Your socks had a small hole at the left big toe. You noticed when you sat down on the floor to look under the couch for the remote controller, which wasn't there, there'd never been before. You found, instead of coin, 2 bobby pins and the button that came from a coat you no longer own. You set them on the coffee table in a row like artifacts from a life half remembered, half known. Yeah, low voice. The light in the hallway was the last to change. It always took the golden hour longest to arrive. By the time it got there, the rest of the apartment was already shifting into evening, half alive. You stood in the hallway in that exact window, 2 minutes, maybe 3, that particular tone. The kind of light that doesn't ask for anything, just passes through and leaves you more alone, not lonely. Something else, something smaller, like the feeling after finishing a book, when you still have the weight of it in your hands, but there's nothing left inside except the look. You set the book down gently on the nightstand. You never had a book, but still you set it down. And the hallway light went golden, then went sideways, and the vinyl started playing without a sound. Yeah, low voice, okay, okay, okay. The radiator ticked at its own tempo, out of time with everything but fine. You listened to it ticking from the hallway and matched your breathing to it, line by line. The apartment was doing what apartments do at the end of a day that didn't really happen, just room by room settling into itself, and the low voice going quiet, slowly pattern. Yeah, low voice, low voice. You said one more thing to yourself, too soft to catch. Something between a word and a long exhale. And then the room just held it for a second before the vinyl crackle swallowed up the trail. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. You sat on the front step with both hands on your knees, the concrete still holding the heat from yesterday. A pigeon walked the edge of the gutter in a straight line, like it had somewhere specific it needed to be today. Your headphones on, the cord resting on your collarbone, the volume just enough to blur the edge of things. A bus went past and draped a shadow over the whole block, and then it was gone. And the street did what the street does. It sinks the corner store, had its metal shutter halfway up. The man inside was counting something small and flat. A woman walked by with a stroller and a coffee cup and nodded at you like you were both in on that. The smell of bread was coming from somewhere left, and cigarette smoke from somewhere right, both real. You breathed them in without choosing, without thinking, just a nose in the morning and the concrete filth. The crack between the second and third step held a small stone, round and gray and doing absolutely nothing. You moved it with your shoe tip to the next crack over and watched it settle there. A tiny new beginning, yeah, warm concrete. Okay, the tree out front was dropping something, not leaves yet, but the early things that come before leaves fall. One landed on your shoulder, you let it stay a second, then it blew off down the sidewalk, that was all. The traffic light at the end of the block went through its cycle, red, green, yellow, red again, no cars. You watched it for 3 full rounds for no reason, standing there in the morning like the smallest of stars, yeah. Warm concrete, You went back inside for the glass you left on the counter, the one with 2 fingers of water still sitting there. You drank it at the sink and looked out the window above it at the same street, but from a different square of air. The neighbor across had their window open, curtain moving, one white panel lifting, dropping, lifting slow. Someone was playing a radio and there's something old, a melody that came and went with the undertow. You rinsed the glass and set it in the rack upside down. The chrome of the faucet caught the light for a second and threw it back across the ceiling in the bar, like the room was trying to say something you never reckoned. Your shoes were by the door where you left them last night, one upright, one falling over on its side. You didn't fix it, walked around them both. The morning had its own geometry, its own side. The table had a magazine open to a page with a photograph of a coastline, rocks and foam. You looked at it 3 days in a row at breakfast, like it was a window to a place you'd never known. Okay, warm concrete. Yeah, the coffee maker made his last exhale, done. You poured a cup and didn't add a thing. Just stood there in the kitchen in your socks and hoodie, listening to the small sounds the appliances bring. The hum of the fridge, the tick of the pipe, the outside layered under the jazz in your ears, low and even. And the cup was warm between both palms, and the morning was something you were still in the middle of believing. Yeah. Okay. You went back to the front step in the afternoon. The concrete was warmer now, a different kind of warm. The sun had moved its angle to the left of the building, and everything had that gold you can't perform. The pigeon came back, different pigeon maybe, or the same one, you couldn't really say. It walked the same gutter line in the same direction, like it was reading something that only it could weigh. A kid came out across the street with chalk and started drawing circles on the pavement there. Big ones, small ones, some of them connected like a diagram of something soft and rare. You watched without leaning, just your eyes tracking, your headphones still playing that same looping groove, and the chalk made that dry sound across the concrete, a small percussion entering your afternoon. The shadows from the veiling crossed your lap in stripes, thin and parallel and moving imperceptibly. You watched your hand inside those stripes of shadow and thought about nothing you could name specifically. Warm, yeah. Concrete. Okay, the afternoon just kept on being afternoon, the kind that doesn't ask for your attention. You gave it some anyway, both eyes open, the quiet kind of looking without intention. The chalk kid went inside, the circle stayed, the light went sideways, amber at the edge, and the concrete under you was cooling slowly, and the music in your ears was on the legend. Yeah, warm. The steps stayed warm a little longer than you expected. You sat there past the point when you meant to go in. The concrete held the day like it was keeping it for someone. And the pigeon came back one more time, and then half smile, yeah, just that, nothing more. Just that. You caught yourself smiling at the window, not at anything, just at the light. The way it hit the edge of your coffee cup and split into a small and crooked bright. You didn't know you were doing it, the smile. It came from somewhere quiet, no address. Just landed on your face like a leaf does, soft, unannounced, and weightless, more or less. The piano loop was playing its small pattern, 8 notes that kept returning to the start. You'd heard it maybe 40 times already, and every time it still felt like a heart. The drum break came in loose and satisfying, with that particular crackle on the two. And you were nodding slow and barely moving, the way you do when something feels like you do die, yeah. Half smile, just that. The window had a smudge from last week's Tuesday, when you pressed your nose against the cold to see if the cat downstairs was in the garden. It wasn't, but the smudge stayed clear and bold. You looked at it now through the steam of coffee and thought it was kinda funny, kinda good, the way some things just stay when you're not watching, the way some things remain the way they should. Okay, half smile, yeah, nothing more. Half smile, yeah, yeah, just that. Nothing more, just that. The playlist shuffled into something slower, with a flute that floated over the bass. You put your cup down, closed your eyes a moment, just to feel the room without a face. The sunlight on your eyelids turned them orange, and inside that you saw your own small dark. A comfortable dark, the kind that breathes, not empty, just a pause, a comma, a mark. You open them again to the same kitchen, the same magnets on the fridge, the same. The drawing that you made on the back of an envelope, a bear in sunglasses, no name. You taped it up one morning without thinking, and it stayed there through the seasons, through the dust. A small reminder of a good 10 minutes of doing something just because you must. The afternoon was turning, going golden, the kind of gold that only lasts a minute. You didn't rush to photograph or hold it, just sat there in it, briefly and completely in it. Your socks were 2 different kinds of gray. You noticed now and found it somehow right. The headphones still were playing small and steady, and the half smile held on into the light. Yeah, yeah, just that. Do that. Half smile loop, half smile loop. Just that. Nothing more. Just that. Just that. Just that. Just that. Just that. Nothing more. You found a good pocket in the afternoon, not a place, just a feeling, a groove in the day, where everything fits without being pressed and nothing is asking to be put away. The jazz piano was running a small loop, 4 bars that kept returning to the same chord. And you were sitting at the kitchen table with the cup that was empty and a mood that wasn't bored. The window was doing its particular thing, showing the sky between 2 buildings, framed a rectangle of blue with one cloud moving slowly right to left, unhurried, unnamed. You watched it cross the frame in its own time. The drum in your ears ticking softly underneath, and the walking bass was doing what it does, making the floor feel good beneath your feet, your teeth. Pocket, yeah, jazz, okay, snap. The table had a scratch near the left corner from something moved without a coaster once. You ran your thumbnail in it like a groove, a small habit, a repeated stunt. The piano loop came back around again. You caught the moment where it turned the exact note, where it decided to go home instead of elsewhere. And you felt it in your chest like something wrote, yeah, yeah. Pocket jazz, okay. You got up for no reason, walked the short hall from the kitchen to the living room and back. 4 steps each way, nothing at the end of either, just the same apartment, same exact track. But you did it twice, just for the bass line, because the walking bass was asking for a walk. And sometimes the body answers music that way, without a thought, without a second to talk. The plan on the shelf had a new leaf coming, pale and small, folded along its own spine. You hadn't noticed it this morning or the morning before, and now it was there, a small impatient sign. You touched it once, the edge of it, 2 fingers, and it was softer than you thought a leaf could be. Then you went back to the kitchen and sat down like it didn't happen, because it didn't need to be. Okay, yeah, pocket jazz, snap, The record on the turntable was ending. You could hear the difference before the run-out groove, a spaciousness that comes when the side is finishing, like the room exhales and finds a softer mood. You let it reach the needle and then you let it loop, that soft scratch of the run-out going round 6, 7, 8 times before you moved and stood up slowly toward the sound. Yeah, jazz pocket. Okay. You flipped the record without looking at the label. You knew both sides of this one in your hands. The weight of the vinyl and the paper sleeve, familiar like a thing that understands. Side 2 started with the brush snare hit, just one, then the piano entering alone, and the room felt like it had been rearranged slightly by that single hit, that single tone. You sat back down in the same chair, same position, same empty cup, same scratch near the left edge, but the music was different, and so the room was different, or you were different, standing on some ledge, not a high ledge, a low one, a comfortable one where you can see the same room from a half step up. And the piano loop was almost the same as before, almost, but not like the difference in the cup. Pocket, yeah, jazz, okay, snap. The afternoon was running out of afternoon. You could feel it in the quality of the light. The blue between the buildings going grayer, everything approaching the edge of night. Not there yet, just approaching, just leaning, the way a song leans into its last bar. And you were sitting in that lean, that almost feeling the pocket, holding where you are. Yeah, pocket jazz, okay. The needle reached the run-out groove again, and you let it loop this time, you let it stay. The scratch and the hiss going round and round and round. And the afternoon just quietly walked away. You went out after 9 because the air felt different, the kind of night where the city turns its volume low. The neon from the pharmacy on the corner was doing its slow flicker, soft and slow. Pink and white and pink again, unhurried, like a heartbeat that had learned to take its time. You stood outside your building for a minute, just watching it, no reason and no rhyme. Your headphones on both ears, the cord tucked under your jacket collar, keeping it in place. The street was mostly empty in the nice way, just enough for people, just enough for space. A couple walked by close, their voices quiet, not quite a whisper, but not meant for you. And the neon kept on cycling in the background, pink, white, pink, that particular hue. Soft, yeah, neon, okay. Music in your ears had a synth underneath it, low and present like a light behind a shade. You felt it more than heard it in the sternum, a glow inside the chest the melody made. The sidewalk was still wet from earlier rain, each square of pavement holding its own sky above. And the neon in the puddles made a second city, a softer one below, upside down. Enough neon, yeah, but soft, okay. You walked 2 blocks without a destination, just that thing where the body knows the pace. Past the laundromat with its window lit yellow, someone's clothes going round in the glass face. A shirt, a towel, a pair of something dark, tumbling in that warm and useless orbit. You stopped and watched for half a minute, easy. The drum in your ears and the drum of the machine, it was the same tempo almost, or you made it so. The way you sync things without meaning to, your feet started moving at the same speed. The machine, the kick drum, you, the synth was there again beneath the piano, pulling at your shoes just slightly forward. And the night was doing what soft nights do, unhurried, a little damp, a little taut. Ooh, neon, yeah, but soft, okay. The corner convenience store had someone in it standing in the bright aisle, reading a label, taking a long time with whatever it said. Patient as someone reading at a table. You could see them through the glass, just their back, shoulders down, not in a hurry, present. And the store's fluorescent light came out the window, white and blunt against the neon. Pleasant, yeah, soft. Neon, okay. Turned around somewhere between the second and the third block, turned back the way you came. The city looked different from the other direction. Same street, different angle, not the same. The neon from the pharmacy was ahead of you now, and you could see the whole sign, not just the glow. The letters spelling something about hours, open or closed, or something in the know. You passed the laundromat again, the clothes still turning different configuration. Now the shirt on top, the person reading labels in the corner store was gone. The aisle just bright and empty, a full stop. Your headphones played a new part of the song, where the piano left and just the bass remained. And your footsteps were the melody for a minute, until the piano came back in unexplained. Yeah, neon, but soft. Ooh, okay, the building door was there before you noticed. You'd arrive without arriving, just appear. You stood outside at one more beat than needed. The neon doing its slow thing while you cleared whatever it was. The walk was for the reason that you didn't have when you went out. The night had given you nothing and everything. The neon kept on flickering, no doubt. Yeah, soft neon. Okay, you went back in and sat beside the window, watched the neon from above the street below. Pink, white, pink, the pharmacy's still open. The city doing what it does, just soft and slow. Okay, just breathe. Just breathe. You put the headphones on, and the whole world slows down. Yeah, just breathe. Just let the beat come around. You wake up slow, the ceiling fan is turning. The cord is tangled on the bedside table, yeah. You reach for it like it's the first thing that matters, like coffee waiting in a ceramic mug. The morning light comes through the curtain gap, paint in yellow lines across the wooden floor. You slip the headphones over both your ears, and suddenly the room don't feel so small no more. The kettle starts to whistle on the stove. You don't move yet, you just sit there, just sit. Fingers wrapped around the mug handle, warm. The steam is rising, slow and soft and lit. The clock ticks, but you're counting something else. The beat drops in like a hand on your shoulder, yeah. And outside the window, leaves are barely moving, like the whole street knows this moment's getting colder. You hum a little, not a song, just sound. The kind that lives between your teeth and tongue. The kind that says today can wait a minute. Today can wait until this verse is done. Your slippers on the kitchen tile, both cold. The toaster's clicking, bread is almost ready. You close your eyes and let the piano loop go round and round, and keep your heartbeat steady. Steady, steady, okay, yeah. You put the headphones on, and the whole world slows down. Yeah, just breathe. Just let the beat come around. The neighbor's dog is barking twice and stopping. A bicycle bell rings once down the block. You hear it all, but like it's through a window, like sound wrapped up inside an old sock. The dishes in the sink are not your problem. The laundry folded sitting in the chair. The list you wrote last night on yellow paper can stay right there. You're not going anywhere. Your feet are on the coffee table now, toes pointed at the television screen. The screen is off, reflecting back the ceiling, a rectangle of everything between. The curtain moves a little, just a little. A draft that came from somewhere you can't place. You breathe it in, the dust and morning and fabric, and feel it settle somewhere in your chest space. The cat walks by and doesn't stop for nothing, just crosses through like it owns the afternoon. You watch it disappear behind the sofa, and somewhere in the beat there's something new, a tune, a melody you didn't catch the first time, hiding in the hi-hat, low and sweet. You rewind back about 3 seconds only, and catch it like a coin dropped on the street. Okay, yeah, You put the headphones on, and the whole world slows down. Yeah, just breathe, just let the beat come around. Yeah, just breathe, just let the beat come around. Just breathe, just let the beat come around.